Hello YouTube, this is JudgeGame44 here, and today I want to talk about two things. I already talked about I was going to make videos about Pearl, the relationship with Rose, and I was also going to be talking about Rose being Pink Diamond now when we know what it was foreshadowing, what we are going to talk about her. But pretty much I realized some of these videos might actually just be short, so instead I'm just going to combine both of those together. So besides all that, before we begin, a lot of people are kind of angry, but they are kind of interested in how this is going. First of all, some people do think this twist is honestly that they were seeing from the viewers, like saying, Rose Gorgeous Pink Diamond, and we're going the cheesy way since no one really believes that theory. Just to let everyone know, really, it's even been confirmed for a fact this was the idea plan since the beginning of the series, before anyone was starting their YouTube channels about Steven Universe. So, besides all that, yeah, that's pretty much how these things are going to work. They're not actually pretty much taking other people's theories, ideas that they really think no one believes, and then pretty much put in, this was already planned since the beginning, over like 6 years ago, really. So, besides all that, let's discuss about the first thing about Rose. Now, Rose from the beginning of the series was honestly an interesting character. Honestly, I was kind of shocked when we finally did see her. It was very amazing the way how she was. She was like in episode 32 maybe, or episode 33. I can't remember every single of these names. So please, if you know all of them, I just really can't go look back. I remember I think it was one of the Lion ones, Lion 2 or Lion 3. But besides all that, let's really get started. Rose Quartz has always been praised like this most perfect, flawless woman, really, who pretty much was the leader of the rebellion. And eventually, when we finally saw her, she just looked sweet and nice, and very kind. She pretty much had that formal look to her, wearing a dress and everything, which, surprisingly enough, it's weird that you would wear that for like a battling. I always look at it as pretty much a wedding beach dress thing, since she had no suit on or anything. Yeah, kinda weird. But besides all that, really, as the series goes on, we get to see a little bit more and more about her. We keep seeing more flashbacks with her Greg, and we can see that their relationship does grow over time. Now, granted, we already seen the Rose in other times before with her face reveal, but that it was like pictures and everything. They were more like paintings and like the statue as well from our fountain. Those were just old things, and they didn't really came close that much great how did she look when we finally did see her. And when we finally did see her for the very first time, she was already pregnant and everything through a tape. So, what else happened next? We get to see how Greg and pretty much Rose's relationship grow. We've seen how they met. Basically, Greg was playing the concert and everything, no one was there except for Rose. And pretty much, Greg actually wanted to be with her. And Rose just decided to go with it, in a way. But pretty much it was just because, seeing how much Greg actually did want to be with her, so okay. Well then again, she did kind of give the suggestion it would be best for you to leave since you're not a gem and you can't live forever like I can, really. But because how much, I thought Rose think this was only going to last for like a short time, or maybe, like happened to all the other relationships she had. Now, granted, we don't know how all of her other relationships happen, but yeah. I don't think they came to close as Greg's, though, because we know what happened to her. Basically getting pregnant. Okay, besides all that, as time does go on, they do get more interesting, because then we're seeing closer and closer as the months go by. With the next episode, pretty much I am saying, where Greg is starting to learn when he was getting the job and everything, working at the car wash. I have no idea, I already forgot that name. But besides all that, we were pretty much seeing why the Rose loved humans so much, changing. And then pretty much, she didn't really understand human babies that much, and actually let one grow all the way to the top of a Ferris wheel, almost to fall and die. Of course, it didn't happen. Makes sense. But still, Rose ended up saving, and Greg actually had tried to explain this to him. So, it's also interesting because before this, we were seeing how come Greg wanted to fuse with Rose, but she couldn't. She was kind of laughing, but she really doesn't understand that much about humans 100%. About, like, emotions, how humans' mind work. Because gems, granted, they do have similarities like lores. On Homeworld, humans have lores too, for trials and everything. But really, Rose, as much as she knows a lot about humans, she doesn't really know how their behavior acts in a way. Like, sometimes it can be confusing, like, why are you laughing, why are you crying? She really actually started to kind of understand once they were able to start talking more about things in the past. Which barely, it's a fact that pretty much Greg told her if you don't feel comfortable about it, you don't need to say anything about it. So yeah, as time went on, we eventually found out our backstory, which this is how it finally happens. Rose actually emerged from Earth's crust, which this caused a lot of people to get mad about, because now, at least we all thought at least, that Rose never visited Homeworld before and never really been there. Pretty much it's not her actual home to begin with if she was born on Earth, so that planet would be her homeworld. And not there, and how could she miss it if she was never there to begin with? Makes sense. But, pretty much besides all that, we eventually realized she's not actually that. She began the rebellion, yes, but Rose Quartz, she pretty much did this all, was actually Pink Diamond, so this did mean she was on Homeworld. She met all the other diamonds. And pretty much she's been like this since the beginning and faked her own backstory to the Crystal Gems. So yeah, that's pretty much how it does happen though. And just let everyone know I had to quickly pause it to do something. But just let's get back on track. So pretty much it was discovered she was Rose Quartz and everything, who was actually Pink Diamond, that she faked her own shattering with Pearl. Now, I am going to actually make a little theory about why did she do that instead of putting her own foot down. I was trying to make that video, but I was kind of struggling a little bit with it. So besides all that, let's continue. Pretty much throughout this, she's been going back and forth with the Crystal Gems and Homeworld, commanding both sides. Of course, that is kind of confusing. How could she done both at the same time? She had to be at one place at one time each time. So she could be like for there a few days, she could be there for a few hours. Really, that's confusing. But all we can really know is that she actually did fall in love with the planet when she finally got her own colony and realized that colony was wrong. Of course, like I said about the foot thing, I'll make a theory video about that another time. So, until then though, what about it? Well, as we all know, she faked it her own shattering, and pretty much before then, she was more like a brat. I think she is still kind of a childish, but she's really not that bratty kid anymore. Because we have seen many times when we have seen Rose Quartz, who we thought it was a completely different person from Pink Diamond, she actually does act like childish. She has that behavior to laugh a lot, but she knows how to be more smarter at times. So, besides all that, let's talk about Pearl. Now, pretty much, Pearl and Rose's relationship is kind of interesting. A lot of people say Pearl does have romantic feelings for her. Of course, it is kind of interesting if you start thinking about it. Because what exactly caused all this? As we all pretty much theorized in the past, Rose was pretty much rescuing her, pretty much was trying to show her. Of course, we eventually found out what happened. Pearl was actually Pink Diamond's Pearl and everything. Rose was Pink Diamond, so they must have been having conversations. It's kind of interesting when you think about this, because really this does open up a kind of new thing with a Diamond and Pearl thing. What I'm trying to really say is, we only seen the other Diamond pretty much commanding that Pearl's like, Pearl, what are you doing? I feel like we're not being watched by Diamond. Oh, or something. But pretty much, besides all that, it was like Pearl and Rose, well, Pink Diamond, Rose, or whatever you call her. How about Pink Quartz or Rose Diamond, whatever. Besides all that, they pretty much seemed to have like an interesting relationship. Pretty much they had conversations. Maybe Pink Diamond was honestly wanting to have to start off a conversation with her, and during the rebellion, this is when things got more deeper since it was her own personal secret. Since it was her own diamond, she was not going to disobey any orders or anything. But she was honestly having some type of friendship with her. And of course, she thought they were forever going to be together as friends and happy. Of course, we all know what happened next. Rose pretty much had a child, and that was it for Pearl with being with Rose. And that's it. It is very disappointing, because if you really think about it, that's why maybe Pearl has been caring so much. She thought she was going to be with Rose forever, but when Greg came along, that honestly changed a lot when the kid came. So, pretty much, Pearl has still been breathing, but really, I think it's because of Steven is actually helping her grow on more and more as a person. But yeah, that is kind of very interesting how this is going on. So, besides all that though, really, there is a couple theories I can make about these things. About Pink Diamond putting her foot down, and pretty much how the future of this is going to go out. But besides all that, I'll make those videos another time, because this is Judging Game 44, signing out. Until then, I'll see you all later. Bye!